All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to crack the code on a pretty classic GCSE maths question, all about indices. And here's the kicker. It's from a non-calculator paper. That means you've really got to know your rules inside and out. So let's dive in. Okay, so here it is. This is the exact question we're going to tackle today, straight from a recent Pearson Edexcel paper. It's asking us to work out the value of 27 to the power of 2/3 plus 1/2 to the power of -3. Now I know, it looks a little complicated at first glance, right? But trust me, by the time we're done, you'll see it's actually not so bad once you know how to break it down.
So here's how we're going to do it. We'll look at the question, tackle that fractional index, then the negative index, combine our results, and boom, get to the final answer. Simple as that.
Okay, first things first, the best strategy for a problem like this is always divide and conquer. We've got two distinct parts to this expression, so let's just solve each one on its own before we even think about putting them together.
So let's break it down. Part 1 is that fractional index, 27 to the power of 2/3, and part 2 is the negative index, 1/2 to the power of -3. We're just going to focus on them one at a time.
Right then, let's jump into part 1. How on earth do we decode 27 to the power of 2/3?
Okay, the absolute key here is knowing the rule for fractional indices. It's super simple, really. The number on the bottom of the fraction, that's the root, and the number on the top, that's the power. Root on the bottom, power on the top. Got it?
So let's apply that. We've got 27 to the power of 2/3. The 3 on the bottom means we need the cube root of 27. So what number times itself and then times itself again gets you to 27? Yep, it's 3. Now for the top number, the 2, that just means we square our result. So 3 squared, well, that's just 9. And listen, this is exactly what gets you marks in an exam. The official mark scheme says you get an M1, that's a method mark, just for writing this down, for showing that you know you need to find the cube root and then square it. It's a huge clue into how to get full credit.
So there you have it. The first part of our problem is just 9. Easy enough? Let's hold on to that number.
All right, on to the second part of the puzzle. What about that negative index? How do we deal with 1/2 to the power of -3?
Negative powers can look a bit scary. I get it, but the rule is actually one of the easiest to remember. All it means is flip it. Seriously, that's it. You just flip the fraction upside down, that's called the reciprocal, and the negative sign on the power just vanishes.
So in our case, we take 1/2 and we flip it. It becomes 2/1, which is just 2. And that -3 power, it becomes a positive 3. So suddenly we're just left with 2 to the power 3. See? So much easier to deal with.
And we can all do that, right? 2 cubed is just 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8.
And again, just like before, this is where you pick up your method marks. The mark scheme is super clear. Just by showing you know to flip it and calculate 2 cubed, you've earned another M1. It's all about showing the examiner you know the rule.
Okay, so the second part of our expression is 8. And just like that, we've solved both pieces of the puzzle.
Right, we've done the heavy lifting. Now for the easy bit. Let's put it all back together.
Remember, the original question was just an addition problem. We worked out the first bit was 9 and the second bit was 8. So all we need to do is add them up. 9 plus 8.
Time for the final answer. And 9 plus 8 is, of course, 17. And there you have it. That is our final answer. See? Not so scary when you take it step by step. Now in examiner speak, getting 17 gets you what's called an A1 cow mark. That cow is important. It means correct answer only. So you have to get exactly 17 to get that final accuracy mark. And you need the right working to prove it.
So let's just quickly recap the 2 golden rules here. First, for fractional indices, remember bottom is the root, top is the power. Second, for negative indices, just remember one word, flip. And probably the biggest takeaway of all, show your working. That's how you grab those method marks and make sure you get the credit you deserve, even if you slip up on the final addition.
And that's why this stuff really matters. You haven't just learned how to answer one question. You've basically unlocked the skills to tackle a whole bunch of other, more complicated indices problems. So now that you've got these 2 rules down, what other exam questions do you think you could take on?